people who drive by here are idiots. We're near a corner intersection, and it's only a three-way intersection. Nobody around here is going anywhere, and they just get on that gas as fast as they can. About 3 days ago, a guy went off the road up by the corner. He stayed in the yard all the way up to our driveway, only because there's a cement culvert, and he had to get out of the driveway area and not smash that for his lower fascia of his vehicle. Absolute jokers. Absolute jokers. It happens everywhere, not just here. So, what's going on today on the farm? Well, let me tell you. It's constant, isn't it? So we're working on the Dodge today. Well, the day we put in the new battery, we realized we were going to put in a new battery cable. This wasn't looking so great. We thought, okay, is it the posts? Is it the actual battery terminal? As you can see where we've been taking it on and off and smashing it. Well, this is a super long, super heavy duty cord for the battery, and this goes from the starter. Well, he was going to switch it. He had everything he needed. Way down there, he was realizing, right down there, that bolt that it hooks to was wobbling all over the place. So on the inside of this solenoid that hooks to the starter, something has gone bad. Well, we started looking. There's a website called Diesel Care something. DCP was the initials for it, and that's what they went by. They were on eBay also. We ordered directly through their website. We got a rebuild kit coming for it. So the parts were just delivered, and we're going to be able to do a rebuild on this. So we're going to show you how to do a rebuild on a starter solenoid, and this is for a 91 Dodge Ram 250 with the Cummins diesel. There's different parts and different kits for every one, so you want to make sure you have. There were partial kits, there were complete kits, and you know, this thing always starts when nothing else would start, and all of a sudden it started giving us trouble. And looking into it in the battery situation, you know, we needed a second battery that we found out was not the issue, that it was the solenoid, so we're going to work on it. This is what we're doing today. So how's that come out?
There's 3 bolts going to the, I guess it'd be, I don't know if it's the back of the engine or a bell housing, I can't tell from here. But I have either too many extensions on right now or not enough. I guess I'll add one more. It's a real odd deal to get to. The starter comes out from under the bottom, so I'm going to take the top 2 out first. It's all awkward, but see, I've been in here before. This was all anti-seized real nice by me. This was dielectric. We didn't have any corrosion at all. It's just the solenoid parts are broken on the inside. This has to get way down in here. Get this down in there. Not much room to turn a ratchet. I thought it was worth the time to bring the air over. Oh. Jammed it right into the motor mount.
So why didn't you drive it up on blocks?
It didn't want to go up very well.
Yeah.
So we're just going to use the jack.
So is it that the ramps on the ramps, like the actual driving up part, is not long enough?
This jack isn't tall enough to get it up there because I was jacking in the middle of the truck, so it allowed the coil springs to extend all the way.
I see.
So I didn't get much action on the tires. Now I'm actually directly on the tires.
Okay. And you're only lifting the one side?
I could, yeah. I just have to get ready.
The intent is that you're lifting one side?
Look ready now. Oh, look, that thing.
Use your hands.
You're back up.
Don't let it down with Jack leaning forward.
Go get some of those big 3x3s. Oh, they're old. We're going to set on that. It's not going to go high enough to let Jack talk through the old snowbird.
I see that. Well, for $100, so there you go. There's your review of the Jack. This is the second time he's using it.
It's a pretty narrow little Jack.
It's a narrow $100 Jack. So he's saying it's up on 3 wheels right now. Yeah, my boots. Look at my boots. I gotta get some glue and some patching out. I was gonna see if a bicycle tire and some glue. See if I might be able to save them for a little bit. I've had wet feet for 3 days. We're gonna put those right under the tires, Jack, if you want to go get some more and bring them under here. Jack,
A couple more.
go get some more. He'll do a couple rows high of them. This guy has been working, feeding the animals and doing stuff, and he's gotten taller. And you know, he's taller than me now. From like 12 and a half to 13, he's grown several inches. And in a few months, he'll be 14. So we've been putting him to work. No more little boy stuff. He's been babied by his mom for too long. Still the wrong side. Remember? Copying what you did last time. Thank you. The hardest part, I think, for him is getting past getting his hands dirty. What? What about your tractor? What about your tractor? Is it just like Daddy's? See?
Ma.
I'll take a picture for you.
Yeah, Ma.
Yeah. Little kids are always fascinated with cameras, aren't they? Okay. Let's see what these guys are doing.
Now, Jack, you can
Yeah.
take these back by the home over your back.
Okay, so the way it's designed, you've got screws on the top you could reach and screws on the bottom that you couldn't.
There's one on the bottom you got to get from the bottom, and the starter comes out the bottom anyway, so I'm doing it fast.
Uh-huh.
I'll take all my stuff down there.
See, our dear sweet daughter has been to work here. She was cleaning the truck for us. Look at her. Little girls do funny things.
It's okay.
Now it's a matter of just making them up. You know, getting enough. Lots of mud.
No, Jack, I don't. Oh.
There's a bag of rags hanging up in there if you want to keep a rag in your pocket for that kind of stuff, Jack. They're by the light switch. We always keep bags and bags of old t-shirts and socks around, shop rags. Get lots of use out of old things. Then I can throw them in with the work clothes, and we're not buying rolls of paper towel. Goes the same in the house too. No paper towel. Quit that. Quit that like 12 years ago, 13 years ago maybe. You want a little piece of cardboard to work on or something?
No, I'll just use this right here.
I like to use diapers, old cloth diapers for a work thing. Then you don't lose any screws or any parts.
You got one over there. I'll take that.
Oh.
Looks like we need a
No, you don't have any of those. They're in the house for windows.
Philip.
Something be rattling in there. This is the downfall of having a cluttered, tool-ridden workbench, is that he ends up creating workbenches. I'd like a pop-up workbench. That way you can't load it all up and that you have to collapse it down at the end of the day to be able to get back out.
Well, it did a good fan clutch rebuild on the truck the other day.
He, but see, this is what happens. He left his parts sitting here from his rebuild instead of, what are you going to do with these?
Even the box of instructions.
Are they scrap?
Yeah, that's all. Bearings are dry.
Well, if they're all bad, we'll throw them in the box and carry them away.
This is bad too. Look.
So, see, and there's all kinds of projects like this on the bench that I don't know what they are, and if I move them, I'm in.
Look at that. Both sides.
Yeah.
That's a total fail.
So it's a brand new starter, basically. He said it's been started like less than 1,000 times.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, it's not like it's a daily driver. It's a farm truck.
This is the inside terminal that you can't see.
Okay. Mhm.
This is the one we could see.
I see.
Wire
So the one we couldn't
over.
see is really loose.
Oh, even worse. So we were having to grab the wire directly from the battery and pull it just right, like this, make the truck start. This is all perfect. This was poorly done. So.
And the problem is the car parts places around us. We had an AutoZone, a Parts Plus, O'Reilly's, CarQuest. Yeah, Auto Value. Nobody could get just the solenoid. They wanted to sell me a whole new starter. And it's a remanufactured starter. It's not even a new one. I don't know if this one was a new one or remanufactured, which is likely, if they're selling remanufactured, is that this whole solenoid goes bad. So this ended up costing $16 after a first-time buyer discount. They took like $1.60 or something off with free shipping. And the same company was selling them also through eBay for about $20. There was some tricks about getting it ordered in the final checkout as far as putting in their coupon code, but that's the part there. And online, it was just telling us premium starter solenoid contact repair kit for a Dodge Cummins. So make sure you got the right one coming. We have had a bunch of parts coming lately. We had some tractor parts show up. Said it was for, you know, everything from a like 50 up to a 730 maybe. And we were ordering them for a 630 and they all had to get sent back. So don't count on your parts being correct. Wait until they get there. Because if you get something tore apart and you have to have it, you know, and you could get by for a day or two until the right parts show up, you know, you don't want to have yourself in a situation that you can't use your tractor or your truck. So anyways, yeah, we've got to go back through the search and get the right parts coming for that. Tractor needing a tune-up job. There's a few local guys or shops that do starter rebuilds. Yeah. And they won't give you a price. They got to let you know, once they get it tore apart and then kind of give you a thing. Well, call a local starter guy and he's going to charge you $100 to rebuild a starter. Get a remanufactured starter from the parts place, and they were telling me, what was it, $90 to over $100. So the starter rebuild shops are kind of a thing of the past when all these places will give you a remanufactured starter to begin with, and you can just swap out your part. This guy never does that. We always do all the work ourselves. So for $16 and some change, this will fix us all up. That $50 battery, we put the, what is it? They call that a recon battery or remanufactured battery.
Right.
We put that on the tractor. Haven't had any issues with it at all. Even with the conversion kit for the stud to post, it's been doing just fine. So this will get the Dodge all fixed up. So what's going on?
It's loose, just like they show on the
Mm-hmm.
This is terrible. Look at that. This is
Well, so what makes it loose?
vibration, I guess. They just have it tight, or. I don't know what's going on here. We should have 2 of these, but it didn't show in the ad, and nobody's did. So And this one's, maybe it's one of these other things. We'll see what's going on here.
Okay.
It gives you the plunger. I don't really know if that's not very good looking.
Well,
Look at that.
you don't want to have to tear it apart again later.
Looks like the spring gets reused off your own.
Mm-hmm.
But we might end up trying to get one more part because this is really shot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it came with it. This one you can't see when it's on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
That stud right there is obviously this one.
So this is what it all looks like on the inside. And that's what I was wondering. Maybe it's just a matter of the second. You got two of these, right?
Nope.
Only one?
Oh, yeah, these, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just open this up and look and see what we got. There you go. You get this plunger. It's like this little return spring you keep and use.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a lot better shape than the... This doesn't look very good for
Yeah.
its age, but
How old is it?
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking wrong. We had the truck for 10 years. But we ran the truck for years.
Serious?
We ran the truck for years, and I was laying underneath it at the other house, beating it at 1:30 in the morning to go to work.
Neighbors like that.
And that kept the truck starting for a while. And then finally, it wouldn't do it anymore, so I broke down and bought this. I think it was a Recon.
That's what I was asking. It's,
But it might have been brand new. It wasn't a lot of money. Performance checked and inspected. That's what, so you know it's good.
Mm.
Got it going on here on the outside. This one has to come out unless you twist it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can twist it in and out. There you go. So this is all for
It
the...
just goes like that.
All these parts are for right there.
Okay.
This wheel here that is in horrible shape, maybe.
Well, did you do that? Getting it off? That's broken. The plastic part.
Huh?
This plastic part is cracked and broken there.
No, I didn't do that.
Good to have a little shop assistant helping, huh? There's an O-ring here or something. The old one's got a washer and a lock washer. And
I think it should have come with some parts for over here. There's a wire in there. Oh, that wire energizes me. Yeah.
did you just swap this one? Oh.
I don't think there's any parts.
Okay.
There. That took some muscle.
Well, it seems more or less like they're giving you parts to rebuild one side, not both sides, because there's only two of... There's not two of these nuts. And maybe it's that you got to reuse that nut and that it's this other part that's...
Yeah, we'll do the best we can with it. If we have to... See, this was loose.
Right.
And that might, maybe that contact piece that they do give you for this side.
Well, it's actually got black on it.
Yeah. And then this was loose. They didn't tighten it enough to compensate for the vibration of life.
Uh-huh.
And everything.
But it's that black circle that I'm kind of worried about there being...
That's an insulator. That's in great shape.
Okay.
So that's good. So
maybe this contact is an issue.
there's a little tiny wire. Hooks in here. Watch for. And this,
I put this all together here.
these parts are different. See how wide these are?
Yeah.
Way more surface, and maybe that's on purpose.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to replace that. We got to get that out. So far, it's being a little sticky. Let me get it. Oh, that's welded. Let me get something to get that apart. That's welded.
That's what the black is that I'm looking at? Yeah. Well, you mean it wasn't intentionally welded? Okay.
Maybe some guy somewhere just threw it together a little quick. No, let's see. That's how it is.
Yeah. And see, this is the thing. Like, I didn't have brothers at home working on vehicles to show me this stuff. And it's my absolute weak point. I'm mechanically inclined. But as far as working on anything automotive, mechanical this way, I just haven't ever done it. So I sit and watch him so that I learn, and I ask lots of questions. The boy has disappeared. He has a better understanding, though, of things mechanically like this.
I gotta be so careful because this fine little wire comes from down
It's
back
very
in
small.
Here, and I'm trying to get these separated and not trash that, because then we'd be... I think ParkWest said that they would sell us the solenoid. What you do is take these 3 screws.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't work and this is a fail, they wanted $41 for solenoid. It was all the others that said no.
Oh.
But
they wanted some days. Did they ever get it coming?
One day. No, I never told them to get it because I figured, well, the solenoid works perfect when it has power because we knew this was all loose.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, let's just get it apart and try to tighten it up. Then we found out online that you can buy the kit, so we bought the kit. I'm glad we did because these are a lot. I mean, look at the surface area they're giving you on the placements here.
Uh-huh.
This,
A lot bigger. Yeah. Getting like an extra half an inch of contact. If it all fits in there, I mean,
yeah.
it goes around that little circle.
Yeah, plenty of room for that. But this is sticky. It's going. I'm just being super careful because of that little wire.
Is that
I don't want to
going through it or just wrap around?
This goes through it. So the kit does not come with this shorter stud.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to matter because it comes with this huge contact point here. So I think we're going to be all right. The reason this was terribly sloppy is because this inner nut was loose. That's all.
Okay. So.
And because it was loose is why you're seeing these little weld marks.
Yeah. We'll just hit those with a wire brush or grinder.
Clean it right up.
Okay. Well, that's...
Look at there.
There you go. It just seems like it should come with it.
Yep. It should. Not in good shape.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Oh, man.
Show me there.
Look at all that crap.
Well, maybe you could reuse the one on the other... Oh, it's different.
Differently. This would actually hit the motor probably. This is very low profile in here. You can't even see the...
These are copper?
Yeah.
Or is that...
Or
brass?
coated something. I don't know. It looks like soldering material where... See that? Maybe it's something else coated. I really don't know. But I'd say we're going to get her going.
Yeah. He had to take me to the grocery store the other day and leave it running. And I had just heard a week before about a worker who, about 2 weeks before, had started her car and went out, and she had about 20 minutes left on her shift. She came back and her car was gone. So you can't just leave things running. What do you...
No, we'll get things cleaned up and then I'll wash my hands together.
Show me your hands. Show me your hands.
Well, that's not bad, but for doing this, I'd rather have them cleaner to put it. See, this is just... I mean, I don't feel bad about doing this at all.
Yeah. Okay.
This is all corroded.
How many starters have we had on the Suburban? 3?
Yeah.
Lifetime warranty.
Lifetime warranty from Napa. It was $164.
AC
10 years
Delcos?
ago. No, just their brand. It was new.
Yeah.
New with a lifetime warranty. They threw the seat in the.
Yeah.
And 3 of them failed. They just keep switching them.
They just figure you're gonna swap your car out before it goes bad, and we've had this for well, yeah.
We've been swapping starters with Napa for 10 years because they don't hold up.
So Napa's really good on their warranties.
Or 164.
Yeah. We went through AutoZone for a lot of things for a while, and like we replaced the fuel pump recently, and they kind of gave me trouble about that. They had things listed under my car, not under that. AutoZone was not good for warranty stuff at all. It's okay for a quick like blinker signal or light bulb or whatnot, but they sold us brakes once, and it was missing one of the brake pads. So now I've got brakes sitting right over there on that stereo that are supposed to go on the Buick, right there. And they only gave me 3, and they're like, oh well, you gotta, when your parts are wrong, you gotta know right then for eBay and these auto parts place, because later on they're like, oh well, they've been sitting on your shelf for 6 months, there's nothing I can do about it. They're just cashiers.
Yeah, you could do
whatever.
This job in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I could do this job. It's just a matter of knowing, where to find things.
This is nice.
Yeah.
Nice
But see, this is not complete, and it looks like it was burnt off. See, it's broken. That's why you were having some.
Well, it was loose, and that's burned off, but now it'll be touching and tight again, so it's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be okay. I don't want to try to put a new end on it.
Will we put a washer on it to complete the contact?
No,
or?
it's going to be touching everywhere. The reason it did that is because it wasn't really touching anything. It was so loose.
Yeah.
So when I suck it back tight and have this outer nut tight, it won't matter.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but...
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll clean up your parts, and come back.
Don't film that.
Okay, so what did you do here? Mm-hmm. Dielectric?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, looks like when you put these in, you should tip this a little bit. Or that spline. Dig it in like that.
Mm-hmm.
Give you a little
Wow.
ring here on this end.
What for? So that's why I was looking at the parts. Oh, yeah.
Put this on first. They give you this socket that everything goes in. On the new one, it's deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So then they give you this deeper nut.
Okay.
Which must be a purpose for that. So that goes in this washer.
This is what we meant. It's dielectric grease.
Electricity flows through it, but what corrosion stuff.
He's super good about using this and anti-seize.
That's why I got the starter up so easy. I put it in. This is gonna...
You might not be helping yourself down the road if you swap things out, but we keep everything forever. So you're helping yourself in the long run.
Or the next guy.
Most people don't care about the next guy.
We do. We sell stuff, so. We'll see if this socket is right. I think it's 17 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So when you tighten this up, I think this is to make a better contact. There's a spline that works its way into that new contact.
Yeah.
And you're making new lines as you go, sucking that in.
So why plastic parts when you're going to be putting tension on them from tightening?
You're not really putting tension on these plastic parts. It's kind of like a... This is just This little lip is just what holds your weather-tight boot on the wire that comes in.
Mhm.
That's all that is. It's keeping you. I don't know if we have that side of the wrench. We don't have a deep. We really need a deep 17.
So, and we had to go buy some special sockets that we didn't already have in hand. You said this is 12?
That's 17 for these. And it was 12 point, has to be 12.10 millimeters to get the 3 out of the truck. It seems to be even on the 24 valve.
So for even a lifetime of doing repairs and parts, we've had to go twice this week. We didn't have Torx socket.
I needed
or drill bits
socket because our Torx screwdrivers, that's not strong enough to get a clutch fan apart on a Portland for a big truck. So I went and got some, like a 1/4-inch drive. It was a T30 Torx, and that got the clutch rebuilt because we didn't have the little screwdrivers we had. We probably had a T30, but it's not strong enough.
Just too small.
Okay.
So
Hold that. I'm gonna get a little pressure.
well, I don't think it's going anywhere. Watch if I let go, then it'll fall and I'll get in trouble. See, we're all lined up with our toolboxes.
One more to come.
For years, he's been doing all of his work at his dad's shop, and there are tools there that are scattered about here and there from different projects. He's kind of picked up some of his dad's bad habits of working on a project and leaving the tools where the projects were with the old parts.
It's not a bad habit when you have 30 hours of work built up in front of you when it was 20 and you took 10 hours to fix the truck.
Yeah.
You just leave. You get going. That's what I do.
Wow. But then someone like me comes along and I don't know what parts are good, what parts are bad, what they went to in the first place, and now I've got piles of truck parts intermingled with John Deere parts and Suburban parts. And I told him a long time ago I bought some little tags, and they didn't come with anything to attach things. I said, we need to start labeling things so that I know what it is, so that I can keep things organized. And, you know, I'm always saying, you know, like, someday when you're gone, somebody has to deal with all this stuff, and people, kids and widows have auctions at these farms, and even the guy doing the auction doesn't know what the stuff is, and you can't always get rid of something when you don't know what it is or what it's for. It's like all my mason jars in the basement. I know to label everything. I hope I'm always going to be here, but, you know, they need to know what is dark honey and what is maple syrup if I'm just not here. So now that's going in there, just setting in. What you got?
Well, I can hear that kind of grinding on the other end. I wonder if I should do a little dielectric on that because this other one is so bad. Even got, yeah, they had a compound on there. That's greasy.
Okay.
Let me compare how these feel when that new one seems to push off the card.
Well,
Let's set that down in here.
this one seems to have a thing on it that's broken.
Yeah, this old one didn't even have that. Some type of an insulator, and it's chipped.
Yeah.
So this one starts out up here.
Well, they had the parts we needed, but I'm not saying that the parts are great or that you should go order them. I'll put a link in the description for you.
It's an incomplete kit, I'll tell you that. It should have come with all the stuff on this side.
And this was the most complete kit that we saw.
It should. I would be hesitant to buy it from them again.
Yeah.
We had a lot of problems on this inner side of the solenoid. This stuff was all basically junk and loose, and I had to kind of work with it and redo it myself. It came with the plunger and it came with everything on this side, but nothing for this
Well, I mean, look at this. That is ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sorry. It came with that for this side. That's it.
Yeah.
No stud.
Yeah.
No new insulators on either side. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's a half a rebuild kit. So it's magnetic. Okay. Oh. Mm-hmm. And I had noticed a little bit of clicking, but I didn't realize it was coming from the starter because I just don't know enough about it. And the one time I was driving back from picking up our bikes, and I had gone all the way to Grand Rapids, and that was the kind of start of this, and I had to call him, and he said, "Well, just wiggle the battery cable." And guys were coming over. I'm out in the middle of nowhere at this gas station on a main road that used to be a truck truck stop. I'm like, oh my God, get me out of here. I only stopped because I had to go to the bathroom.
And you'd have thought that the terminal on the battery was the problem.
Yeah.
But really what you were doing was wiggling this as you were grabbing it, and that's what was getting you started.
Yeah.
These were junk.
And I mean, that was the summertime, what, maybe August?
Yeah, then it kind of got better.
Yeah.
Now it was done.
So it was kind of a warning, hey, this is what's going on, but it wasn't what we thought because we didn't get into it a whole lot. We just figured it was because we were swapping out the batteries being cheap.
These were junk.
But we needed a battery anyway. Oh.
Yeah, they don't give you a new gasket either.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Maybe should clean it. But if it gets in there and starts it, we'll be happy with the kit, but it's not complete.
It seems like I saw some gaskets with some of the kits, but you know, like I said, I didn't know what I was looking at. Whenever I don't know what I'm looking at as far as parts and things like that, I have to show him and say, hey, you know, is this kind of what we need? And, well, we didn't want to tear it apart before we got the parts and be in that situation either, because we did have to leave like twice. So.
Not a bad starter. The whole design it almost looks like it's a gear reduction from new. And through here,
Yeah.
It's a gear reduction. Not a very big motor for hard to turn engine, so I guess it is. Put it back in and see if it works. But I bet you it will.
What's this down here?
Oh, that's a water drain. I went like this a few years ago. See the crap
Yeah.
coming out?
So condensation can come out. Let's see.
So, put a little of this. This outer nut that holds your cable on is actually still out on the truck. And this must be the wire that controls it. Tells it to go. This is just a little guy.
So there was another wire coming off of the battery
The
wire.
only thing I had to unhook on this truck, wiring wise, to get this off is these. Because you do have this one, but it's always here.
Because that's just going to the starter itself.
It's really easy to get these starters out of 3 bolts. Hold it on here, base, and 2 wires. That was it.
So see, you can do stuff. I could do that.
These are still tight. These are the ones you'd take off if you bought the solenoid. These 3 bolts, but hopefully we don't have to do that.
All right. Well, we'll go put it in.
Yeah. You can put it in and I'll go.
Oh, I can put it in?
I can probably take this. This is probably what does this one too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got it with all your extensions. Yeah. That one he said was so tough to get to.
can touch a wrench to it and get it on it,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't even go this far. You can't get it out with a wrench. You gotta go way up.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm monkeying around.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Well, maybe it'd make sense to pick up a couple long extensions to have them when you need them.
We have them.
I had,
We have more than that.
okay. Well, I knew I needed a real skinny long one once. Happened to have found one in a kit that we had. So now you just got to put the other two up there in the top.
Yeah, one's in and started.
Uh-huh.
This one's not.
It's hard to see down there without any light on it, but...
So this here, oh, this. Because I wasn't getting my arm in there that easy. We'll have no issue.
Okay, I'll go see what that big noise is. Well, it never fails. I have to walk away for a minute and he keeps on working. Little guy's potty training and I had to rush him back in the house. I come out and the Dodge is going. So the repair is done, it's all complete, and we're back in business for $16 and some change. Super good money saving, I'm happy about that. And I have to go to the grocery store again today and I can go by myself. Yay! Mental Health Monday for Mom. I get to go out on my own. All right, everybody, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Remember, order your own parts, do your own jobs, save some money. Bye-bye.